The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Ali, Mogithin, Hafaday Zantiro, Rananim, Kasalaliay, Lengwo, and Yakwe. And welcome back to another episode of the One Micronesia Show. And remember, this show is brought to you by our friends at Daiso Guam. Craving a snack break that actually hits different? Swing by Daiso Guam, located inside the village of Donkey, and stock up on your favorite Japanese treats. They've got it all. Sweet, savory, crunchy, or cute. There's something for every craving. And while you're at it, explore the rest of the store. Daiso Guam, inside the village of Donkey. Come for the snacks, leave with a bag full of surprises. We kick off the show with a recap of the keynote speech by Marshall Islands President Hilda Hine at this year's 2025 UOG Conference for Island Sustainability. Check it out. At the 2025 University of Guam Conference on Island Sustainability, island leadership took center stage. Among the most impactful voices was that of Her Excellency Hilda C. Hine, President of the Republic of the Marshall Islands. Her speech blended personal reflection, cultural pride, and an unwavering call to action in the face of the climate crisis. President Hine opened with a memory, her childhood in the Marshall Islands, where she and her family lived in harmony with nature. This traditional way of life, known as manit, was rooted in sustainability, resourcefulness, and deep respect for the land and the sea. She reminded the audience that manit isn't just a way of life, it's a legacy, and one her people are determined to preserve.
As one of 10 children and a daughter of a pastor, I really learned early on what it means to live sustainably. We didn't have much in terms of material things, but we were content with what nature provided the family. Thanks to my father's farming skills and the resourcefulness of my parents, our needs were always met, and we always had fresh vegetables, eggs, and other nutritious food from our own backyard, including fresh fish and seafood from the ocean. This is the time when field trip ships from the main island come to the outer islands like once every 6 months. Sustainability was not a buzzword back then. It was just how we lived. It was practical. It was what we call manit, or traditional ways of living. That way of life shaped who I am today and fuels my commitment to a future where we return to the balance, not in a nostalgic way, but with the benefits of new tools, partnerships, and knowledge. At the heart of sustainability lies environmental sustainability, which revolves around preserving and nurturing the health of our planet. This principle entails the responsible use of natural resources, reducing waste and pollution, and conserving biodiversity. And genuine environmental sustainability calls for urgent action to combat climate change, protect ecosystems, and reverse environmental degradation.
She also emphasized that climate change crisis is not only an environmental threat, it's a cultural one. As seas rise, they threaten not just homes, but identity, language, and the spirit of Marshallese heritage. For the Marshall Islands, this is personal. And while the crisis is global, President Hine stressed that solutions must be rooted in local realities.
Today, in the face of climate change and rising sea levels, our nation is not merely trying to survive. We are working hard to be sustainable. We are working hard today so the future generations may thrive. For Marshallese people, culture is deeply rooted in our land and traditionally roach or chiefly system. When we lose our land, we risk losing our lineage, our history, and the social structures that hold our communities together. It puts at risk both our tangible and intangible heritage, our sacred sites, our oral histories, and the traditional knowledge and materials that define who we are.
The Republic of the Marshall Islands is not standing still. President Hine detailed how her nation is adapting.
Our National Adaptation Plan, NAP, is our blueprint for survival, guiding us through the accelerating impacts of climate change. Coastal hazards and sea level rise pose critical challenges, forcing us to confront difficult questions. At only 2 meters above sea level, questions such as which atolls and communities are to be fortified, elevated, and saved. How do we maximize our efforts with limited resources? Elevating all of our islands and atolls is costly. Therefore, strategic action is critical. Clearly, we must focus on our most populated communities where retreat is not an option. One of our most pressing challenges is securing fine and large aggregates for fortification, shoreline development, and land elevation. The Pacific region is making progress, though only for limited land areas compared to the urgent need. We are learning from the experiences of Kiribati and Tuvalu, and we are actively exploring new, more sustainable approaches. One of these is the World Bank funded aggregate study near our 2 urban centers, Majuro and Ibai. It highlights the intense link between small aggregate security and climate security and provides the primary pathway for climate change adaptation in atoll nations. Our priorities are clear. Fine aggregate for urban seawalls and revetments to protect communities from storm surges and coastal erosion.
The Marshalls is laying the groundwork for a future where island nations don't just adapt, they lead, and they do it while staying rooted in culture, in Manit, and in each other.
It is vital that we continue to invest in education, training, and workforce development, especially in areas like climate adaptation and marine resource management. This means investing in our people, especially women. I am proud to share that 59 of our women recently completed a training in solar energy technologies, lighting the way for more inclusive and sustainable development. Their success is proof that local innovation and empowerment are at the heart of resilience.
Her Excellency closed with a global call for nations to cut emissions, support island-led solutions, and act with the urgency the moment demands. Her final words echo through the conference hall and beyond.
The question before us is not whether we can rise to this challenge, but how quickly we can do it. Sea level rising is going up really fast. The future of our islands depends on the decisions we make today. Our goal is not just to protect what we have, but to create a future where our islands are stronger, our people are empowered, and our way of life can endure. Komoltada, thank you very much. Thank you.
From the wisdom of Manit to the urgency of now, Marshall Islands President Hilda Hine reminded the world that climate leadership is already alive in the islands. The time to act is not someday, it's today. Inspiring and empowering, those are the 2 takeaways from that keynote speech. Thank you so much to Her Excellency, President of the Marshall Islands, Hilda Hine, for coming all the way here for that beautiful speech. Guys, we're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. One Micronesia Show continues here, and now we sit down with the voice of Micronation, D.U. Harrow, to talk about a recent big event that went down here on Guam. Check it out. Micronation lit up Guam on a beautiful Sunday night, March 30th, with an unforgettable live show featuring a powerhouse lineup: Island Pulse, AJ Rhythm, the dynamic duo of Hara and Mehmet, and of course, Micronation to close out the night. The crowd was electric, the vibes unmatched, and the message was clear: this is just the beginning. What started as an idea between friends quickly turned into a full-blown production. From scouting talents to locking in a venue to promoting across the islands, every detail was powered by passion and purpose.
And the first song, the whole dance floor was just packed already. I think everybody was waiting because we opened the doors at 6, then we didn't start till like 7. So everybody was like itching to dance. So right when Island Pulse went up, they went up for like a good hour or so. And then AJ Rhythm went up and did a bunch of his originals, his rap originals, and it was insane. It was great. It was very poetic. Like, I don't really understand a lot of Chukis, but the way he was explaining to me, like basically translating what the song means, I love the meaning behind it and all of that. And he's just a very poetic guy. So, and he wasn't shy at all. So he did a great job. He went up there and he owned that stage. And then after AJ Rhythm, then it was Hara and Mehmet. Hara and Mehmet went up, and obviously everybody was just going crazy. It was insane. And I didn't think that on a Sunday, for one, we were gonna get this amount of people coming out to, like, you know, to come out to a concert.
With the venue packed and the crowd buzzing, the expectations were sky high, and the artists delivered. But more than just music, it was the sense of unity, the pride, and the power of culture that resonated the most.
It's been a while for our community to have anything like this, like a fun night concert. So I think everybody was just excited for it. And the fact that Hara and Mehmet were gonna be here, I think it was, not I think, but it was a great night.
Dee shared that this event proved something powerful, that big events like this can happen here, and more importantly, that artists from across the region now have a platform to grow, step out of their comfort zones, and do something bold, something different, something that shows the world who we are as Micronesian artists.
I feel like we wanted to make this thing a little bit more different, a little bit more concert style. Like, you know, when Maoli or like, you know, like Ekolu and all these big artists, when they come to do their shows, we wanted to make it something like that for our community, because we've never had anything like that. And I think it would be good to show people that, hey, we can do this too with our own artists, like the local talent that we go super hard for. Because I feel like in our community, the FSM community, the Palau community, Micronesian community, Marshall community, we go super hard for our local talent. Why not throw a concert? Showcase the talent that we already have.
She also addressed something rarely said out loud: the stigma surrounding Micronesian events and parties, often unfairly labeled or expected to end in violence. But this night, it was far from that. The energy was of pure love, celebration, and unity, and the turnout was just as amazing.
I cannot express enough how much love and support and just pure joy that night. Like, I wasn't really, like, you know, behind the stage in the VIP room. I was walking around making sure everybody was good and all this stuff, just observing, you know, just to see like how everybody is. There were like a few Chukis boys that were coming up and pulling the military, like, come on, you gotta experience this, you gotta dance. And oh man, I loved every minute of it. And there was no like animosity. Nobody was there for drama. It was just a really good night.
This past March, the Lime event venue became a celebration of culture, connection, music, and creativity. And for Dee and Micronation, this was just the first note in a powerful anthem that's only beginning to be sung.
Well, stay tuned for our next show. And big ups to Island Pulse, AJ Rhythm, Hara and Mehmet, Micronation, our sponsor, Taichobu 03. Thank you all for, putting a great show together and inspiring the youth and just being the best people that you can be on stage and off stage. We love you guys and stick around for July.
Another inspiring talk about musicians and talent right here in Micronesia. Thank you so much to D, Micronation, and the crew for putting together that concert. And we can't wait to see more down the line. Guys, we're going to take a break. We're back with more The One Micronesia Show. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. One Micronesia Show continues. All right, earlier this year, I had the opportunity to sit down and join in a doula training. Now, what is a doula? I didn't know at first, but then after this training, I figured out what it was and how impactful this training can do for our community here on Guam and throughout Micronesia. Take a look. In this interview, we're taking you inside a powerful doula training that took place earlier this year right here on Guam. We had the chance to speak with Jane Flores, the instructors and participants, to learn what this workshop meant to them and how it's helping serve the island's diverse communities. From personal stories to cultural connections, their insights show just how impactful this training really was.
This Guahan Doula project is the Bureau of Women's Affairs' answer to our very high maternal and infant mortality rates. Guam has the highest maternal and infant mortality rates of all the U.S. territories and some of the highest in the states in general. And so what studies are showing, National Institutes of Health, March of Dimes, separate state studies, are that introducing doula care, which is care that focuses on the pregnant mom, has helped to have higher, more positive pregnancy outcomes, healthier moms, healthier babies. So that's something non-medical that we can do here on Guam to help reduce our infant and maternal mortality rates and have healthier moms and healthier babies.
We provide support to pregnant, birthing, and postpartum women and their families and their support systems. We connect them to resources. We help to advocate for them. We also provide physical, emotional, mental, and sometimes spiritual support. And when I say mental, I don't mean from a mental health perspective, but just in holding space and listening to them and listening to the daily struggles that is being pregnant and postpartum. And we also support the family in being able to be more supportive and help to educate the entire community on how to support pregnant and postpartum women and just, how to be that village that we always talk about moms needing.
So my friend was telling me about this program which related to health. And so that's why I joined. It will be helpful for especially women that are pregnant in our island. The fact that we don't have that much supplies, especially outer island of Yap, that not all of us, we can go to the main island, the main hospital to deliver.
Oh, it's been really great. I've learned a lot. I've never really known that doula has so many capacity, like they have infertility, they have birthing, they have postpartum. I always just thought that doula was just for birthing. I didn't know it was for other things. So it's an eye-opener.
I was interested in getting involved because I myself am pregnant and I know how much it can benefit moms, especially they may not know what a doula is. So with our island in much need of parental guidance and prenatal care, I really do feel that it's a calling for me to be a part of this doula program, and I'm learning so much from the beginning to the end, and I hope the community can be more aware of what doulas are so we can reach more women out there who are not so educated about who and what a doula does.
I wish that I learned the things that I learned today before, because I would have loved to advocate for myself, and I believe that if I knew these things, I would have had a doula myself, and I feel like that would have helped me, especially postpartum.
So I'm going on number 4, and it made such a huge impact to have that person of support there to help guide me, to show me what else is possible, give me more education, and really empower me. And as I've had each child and gone through the labors and the deliveries and all that, and discovered so many new things as each baby was different, it really made me want to see how I could further help other moms along the journey. So I didn't know that the doula route was where I would be, but I'm really happy with it because I get to curate this to how do I want to support other women? How do I want to support moms? How do we make it so they know that they're not alone, and empower them to have the birth that they'd like, really changing the story for them. I think empowerment, sovereign birth, free birth, like showing them that anything is possible if you want it. Let's try to design it and bring it to life.
So much information yesterday. It was really shocking. I love it. It's going to help a lot, especially back home. There's really no support system. So I believe this program, if there is, a lot of our young women, most especially, they're going to get a lot of support from this. Yeah.
But all that to say, a lot of the feedback has been very positive. We've trained over 500 people in the last 8 years, and many of them are our collective members. And so that's another unique thing about our training, is that once you are trained, you then have the option and ability to become a part of our network of doulas, or collective members, as we say. And that is essentially being able to provide continued education to our doulas, continued responsibility, and accountability, so that our doulas are doing things in alignment with our scope of practice and all of those different things.
We are having another training in August. Birth Workers of Color Collective is going to come back out here in August. So we are going to get the word out and hopefully train even more women to become doulas, because this is something that, and we're trying to build sustainability into the program with regard to including doula care in Medicaid and in GovGuam's insurance plan. We are working on that right now. So this is something that we really want to build into a sustainable, non-medical practice that helps women to have healthier babies and healthier pregnancies on our island. They can either email info.bwa@guam.gov or call me at 671-483-6409.
This doula training wasn't just about learning, it was about healing, empowering, and building stronger support for families across the islands. A big thank you to Jane and the team and all the participants who share their voices and takeaways. Their passion and purpose are creating real change in our community. A huge thank you to Jane, the instructors, the participants, and the organizers who put that training together. Thank you guys so much. Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of the One Micronesia Show. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. The One Micronesia Show comes to an end here, and we close off with the One Mic Jam session. For this one, you've heard it on TikTok, you did the dance on TikTok, and now there's a music video for it. Remember that song? Oh, Pui Pui. Here's Hara and Meme.
Give me the reason why. Why can't I get over Give me the reason why can't I get over you? Finding it so hard to do, knowing that you moved on too. Give me the reason why I spent so many sleepless nights, tossing and turning. Why do I make it hard to try?
And that pretty much concludes another episode of the One Micronesia Show. Again, a big thank you to our sponsors, Daiso Guam. Craving a snack break that actually hits different? Swing by Daiso Guam, located inside the village of Donkey, and stock up on your favorite Japanese treats. They've got it all. Sweet, savory, crunchy, or cute. There's something for every craving. And while you're at it, explore the rest of the store. Daiso Guam, inside the village of Donkey. Come for the snacks, leave with a bag full of surprises. And that does it for this episode. We'll see you guys on the next one. My name is Victorious, and all I gotta say is peace. The One Micronesia Show is brought to you by Daiso Guam, Japan's largest dollar store located in the village of Donkey, open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily.